Why global crude oil prices are climbing faster than U.S. oil amid Iran conflict. March 6, 2026. The escalating conflict in Iran has driven global energy prices sharply higher, but international oil markets are reacting more strongly than the U.S. market. After U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran over the weekend, oil prices surged, with Brent crude, the global benchmark, rising faster than U.S. benchmark West Texas Intermediate, WTI. Brent's May contract settled Wednesday at $81.40 a barrel on ICE Futures Europe, $6.74 above WTI's April contract at $74.66 on the New York Mercantile Exchange. The spread briefly widened to $6.87 on Tuesday, its largest gap since November 2023. Analysts say Brent carries a larger geopolitical premium because it reflects global supply risks more directly. WTI, by contrast, is more insulated from Middle East disruptions because it is tied to U.S. shale production and domestic infrastructure. Still, the current gap is unusually wide. The Brent-WTI spread has been expanding since mid-2025 as Middle East tensions intensified and the Russia-Ukraine war persisted. In June 2025, the gap was around $2. After Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine, it approached $12. The widening spread signals stronger concerns about global supply disruptions than about U.S. supply. Brent is largely seaborne crude from offshore North Sea fields, making it more vulnerable to shipping bottlenecks. WTI is produced mainly from U.S. shale basins such as the Permian Basin and transported by pipeline to Cushing, Oklahoma, before refining or export. Recent U.S. data show crude inventories at Cushing rose to an 18-month high of 26.5 million barrels, easing pressure on WTI prices. Globally, however, supply strains are emerging. Iraq has slowed or halted some production as storage fills and tanker traffic through the Strait of Hormuz slows. Shipping data show loaded very large crude carriers, VLCCs, are accumulating in the Persian Gulf while empty tankers are declining. Loaded vessels are struggling to depart, and empty ones cannot enter, limiting the flow of crude. Middle East producers have limited onshore storage capacity, generally less than 20 days' worth, leaving them vulnerable if shipping disruptions persist. U.S. officials have sought to calm markets. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said additional measures would support oil trade in the Persian Gulf. The Trump administration has pledged to insure tankers and provide U.S. Navy escorts if needed. Those assurances helped temper prices Wednesday. WTI briefly fell to $73.28 after reaching its highest level since June, while Brent dipped to $80.30 after hitting a 2025 high. Both benchmarks were still on track for modest gains. Some investors believe the market expects safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz to resume sooner rather than later, limiting further escalation. Analysts say oil would likely need a prolonged, 4 weeks or more, closure of the strait to trigger another major price surge. By MarketWatch story by Myra P. Safong, March 5, 2026.